Have you ever been curious about the power of compounding in action? Well, then this video is for you, because we will do a quick review here on the main growth portfolio. We're halfway through 2025 and not a whole lot has changed, or has it? By the way, beautiful new logo here, Bull Nova. Big thank you to the editor for that. So write thank you to the editor in the comment section below. Looks a lot nicer now. Last time the main portfolio was at almost 4.2 million Swedish here, 4.178. And as I promised in the intro, let's take a look at what true compounding looks like. Well, now total value here in the private banking account is 6.478, so almost 6.5 million Swedish as of right now. And for the total of the year here, up roughly 2.5 millions. We can compare this to up roughly 1.8 million back early this same year when I made this video. This was just before the earnings call of Porch Group, the main holding in my portfolio, still is. So if you want to learn a bit more about risk profiles, then just click on the name of the channel here and you can take a look at the old video here 5 months ago, where I speak a bit about portfolio concentration, because it's very important to understand the risks in that aspect. I will just mention a few of these positions briefly, because it was only 5 months ago since I made a larger commentary. Bauch Health is the company that I like the least out of the larger holdings in my portfolio. You can see down 28% since I bought it. Of course, this was a asset play, quite a leveraged company, potential for huge gains, and sometimes Bull Nova gets very greedy, and I look at this and I see, all right, potential for huge payout if they decide to make a spin-off of Bauch and Lomb. But I need to do a deep dive on this one for sure, because it's looking like a dog with fleas, as we say in the stock market. Then we have a few Alphabet shares. That's all the shares that I managed to accumulate working at Google for 1.8 years. Not a lot comparatively, but the problem with Google shares is that it's a $2 trillion company. And as a young man, young middle-aged man, early 30s here, this is not the type of risk level that I want in my portfolio. So I need to revisit this one. Don't get me wrong, I think it's investment that can perform nicely. I think it will perform roughly around market performance, but I'm looking for above market performance in my picks, and then Alphabet that does not fit in the portfolio on the risk level that I want. So I will revisit that one for sure. But that's the beauty about investments. I don't have to take quick action. There's a lot of things with regards to a company that I have started that requires my attention. And once some of these things have slowed down and all that pressure that's coming from private life is taken off a bit, then I can start to look at where I want to reinvest the Alphabet money, because there's no rush. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. They're down for the year. That happens from time to time with stocks, happens from time to time with the market. But there's no rush for me to redeploy the capital. One that I will need to look at much sooner is Orion Properties here, with the buyout rumors from Kava Capital Management. Very annoying. If the position gets liquidated, then I have to look at new ways to deploy the capital. It takes a lot of time, as I've mentioned before in the Discord and on some videos, but you guys just see me commenting on the shares, the stocks, when the analysis is complete. But listening in on the earnings call, it can take an hour, and then you listen to another one, you read a few press releases, and yeah, it's quite a tedious process. So you guys really get to enjoy the fruits of my labor without putting in too much labor. So that's my gift to you guys in this case. And most of the portfolio is deployed. Very happy about Palantir performance. Very happy about Stoneco performance as of late as well. Very happy about SBB performance as well. Some of the major shareholder movements that we've seen in that company has been reassuring. And stock price has recovered nicely. They've paid out a huge dividend in the past as well. Just a massive one. Very grateful as a shareholder. Reddit started to take up a position here. If I wanted to bet on advertising, then there's a whole lot more potential for growth in Reddit than, for example, in Alphabet. Although I have done a lot of due diligence behind the camera on this one, looking at the ways to create campaigns, trying it out a bit for myself. I'll make a separate video on that when I get around to it. But I see some dangers indeed. But this company, they're focused on the American market now, and they're going to get a lot of growth from that. And then they have the international market that they can penetrate as well. They have data licensing, and it's going to be really, really difficult for management to misstep, make errors here. However, if there is a person to take this company in the wrong path and make some bad decisions, well, then it's the current CEO. Quite a bad gut feeling regarding him from the latest earnings calls, and not saying the things that I want to hear as a shareholder. Despite that, stock up roughly 50% since purchasing, just below 100 American dollars in that case. But this one, I think, will perform slightly above market returns here in the near term. Roughly 1.5 times market returns, but it will not be another Porch Group, but I think that they will perform well. I think that the risk to reward ratio is favorable for investors, and I will be looking to increase this position. Hopefully you guys enjoy this commentary showing you the main portfolio. This is one that I try to pretend it doesn't exist, because it can get very tempting when you look at the kind of numbers that I'm up to now. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing compounding in action. This is very, very doable for everyone. If you save hard, put your money to work, stay consistent with your strategy, and after 10 years, not doing anything special, just staying consistent, saving, and picking good stocks. Well, even on the European salary, this is doable. I'm EU, not America. America, you guys, you can do this easily. Anyways, that's been it for this video. And as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.